In this episode of Did Y'all See, we're discussing whether we feel sorry for Mendeecees being sentenced to 8 years in prison, Oprah giving the child she lost a name, and whether R.Kelly should have been able to perform at the Soul Train Awards. All this and more on Did Y'all See. So, did y'all see that the verdict is out? Mendeecees was sentenced to 97 months, which translates to 8 years in prison for drug trafficking. So, I mean, it is what it is. We knew he was going to do some time. I don't think, it could have been 25 years. That's what I was hearing initially. So the discussion people are having now is like, do you feel sorry for him?
I feel bad. And maybe it's because I really like Yendi and I know that that's who she loves and that's who she's built this family with, and he's going to be, away from his kid for so long. His kids, multiple, for so long. I feel bad, and I feel that he has learned from his mistakes, but it's just, it's too late. So hopefully he learns from this experience, and hopefully it teaches somebody else, as, someone who's had relatives, close relatives, go to jail for extended periods of time. It's rough on everybody. Those rides upstate, those expensive phone calls, the letters, the care packages, like it's a lot. And she's managing her business. She's she's taking care of these kids. So, I mean, I'm sending well wishes that way because it's going to be a long 8 years.
So, in America, we always sympathize with the mob and their families.
Girl.
Like, with the mob wives, with any investigative discovery series. Like, we're always sympathizing with these white people. You know the Real Housewives of Atlanta, New Jersey woman who's, her daughter's writing this, like, Good Morning America's in your house, B?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I mean? So, it's just like, when a black man does it, it's like, like, stop it.
I feel bad anytime anybody has to go to prison. I mean, I've watched enough lockup episodes to know that ish gets mad real up in there. And, he's not like a celebrity who will be protected in any kind of way, I think. So, I mean, it's going to be rough. And when you have children, especially a very young baby who barely knows, she has a relationship with you, obviously, but she's barely developed that real relationship with you. It's super sad. And I feel sad for Yendi. And I think I feel sad for them mostly because, I mean, they're one of the few examples of people who are able to get on TV. And then more than that, also, I think, I don't like the people who are out here like, the 8 years is not enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how did you get 8 years?
Right.
Who did you snitch on to get 8 years?
Meanwhile, his co-defendant got 10, so it's
and
not
was
even
already in jail before him. So it's like, it's just, I just feel like stuff like that is just always disgusting to me.
I don't like that people are treating it like it's just nothing. It's a lot to be away from your kids for 8 years, no matter what you've done. And I feel like if you, I don't know, maybe it's not the right thing to say, but I feel like if you haven't taken someone's life, prison just seems, not that we should just be letting people just do whatever and they should just be free, but it just seems like so much for some drug trafficking, I don't know, it just seems like a lot to me. So it just makes me sad. It really does make me sad. So did y'all see, Oprah has that that tour that she goes on where she's encouraging people to live the life they want or whatever. And she was talking about her own personal experiences. And I think, a lot of people know that Oprah lost a baby at 14 years old. And I always thought that she had like a miscarriage, but the baby was born and then died a few weeks later. So she was saying during this tour that she actually finally decided to give the baby a name. And she named him Canaan, which means new life. For the Israelites, that was the land they were trying to get to, new land, new life. So that's what she named the baby. And I guess that was an interesting story because Oprah really doesn't talk too much about the baby she lost. So what did you guys think about her story and her deciding to share it?
I have a hard time relating to this, entire thing just because I've never lost a child, and I don't know what that feels like. And I don't know. I mean, to get pregnant at 14, it's just a lot that I feel like I can't really speak on it because I don't know.
It's good to know that in the Church of Oprah, that Oprah is still healing, because I think a lot of times when you're dealing with real churches or just someone someone who is influential as she is, where it comes to self-help or what have you, that I think sometimes people are, you know, they feel like their work is done, and then they're just like, oh, I'm gonna help everybody. I'm gonna help the minions. So I'm glad in that part she's healing. But it made sense when you said that it was about her tour, because my friends who went, they had to name things that they felt like they lost or that people took from them. That was very traumatic or detrimental in their lives, no matter how big or small it is. So like, let's say you had a second grade teacher who called you stupid. So for that 7-year-old, you're going to say like, I am intelligent or whatever. And they had like signs and they have a photo booth. So yeah. So when everything has come together for me, I was like, okay, it makes sense. And I don't know, I think it's a good exercise. I'm into that kind of stuff. So, you know. Like, you know, that's your spiritual experience when you travel.
And I do agree, like you said, that definitely I think, and not even just with the celebrity or whatever influential person, but people looking on the outside, they just assume because you have it all, you have all this success, that in some way you're good. Oprah looks like she's good. She keeps saying, you know, I don't want to get married. I got Stedman. I got my network. I got my life, I'm good. But behind all that, you know, she's still dealing with that pain. So I think giving him that name and having that healing for herself, I think that's a beautiful thing. I know other people thought it was kind of weird, but I think if you haven't lost a child, you may not get it. And I think even when you've lost a child and they're like, you never really move past that. And like my mother, we lost my brother, and my mother still like goes every other day to my brother's grave and is still very attached to him. And just because she lost him when Oprah lost him when she was 14 and he was just a couple weeks old, doesn't mean that in a way she didn't carry him with her all these years. So
I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was strange when I first heard it, because I've listened to Oprah talk about losing that baby, and the way she spoke about it, it was almost like she miscarried. Like from the way she spoke about it, it was just like it was an it. So I never had the context. I never knew that the baby was like here in the world, right? And she always said that when the baby passed away, she felt relieved, and like it was a second chance at life, which always just made me feel like a little weird, like this baby had to die so you could have the life you have now, right? It just felt really weird to me. So when she said that she named him like Canaan New Life, I was like, new life for who? Like for you, Oprah. So it was strange to me. But I also, when you put it in the context of you going on this tour and you naming things that you lost, I think it's true, like she's finally coming to terms with what really happened to her. And you know, at 14, you do feel relieved because you can't even really process what just happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like, you know, at 61 or however old Oprah is now, she's finally being like, you know what, that was a loss. So did y'all see that the Soul Train Awards were like amazing? I'm not even like no gas, it was awesome. But I was severely disappointed to see that R.Kelly closed the show out. And it's such a crazy experience listening to R.Kelly sing, because he can still sing. He sounds great. You know, being from the Midwest, Victoria, and specifically from Chicago, like, you know, R. Kelly's music is huge. It's huge. So, you know, it's good to hear that he sounds so good, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, I can't. So anyway, the question is, I'm not even supposed to be giving my opinion right now. I'm supposed to be asking y'all, what did you think about R. Kelly closing out the Soul Train Music Awards? Is it, should we still be giving a platform to someone like this? Like, people are saying, you know, oh, this is the Black community, and there are other people in mainstream who do stuff like this, and the people still support them, like, you know, Woody Allen or Roman Polanski. So should we still, as Black people, give R. Kelly this type of platform?
I personally can't support R. Kelly, and I told you, I mourn the loss of his music because he's a very gifted musician. Like, he's a great songwriter, he's a great singer. I was one of those people who for a long time held out on the concept of him being what people were saying that he was. And I wrote about that previously. But there are some basic things that have come out, and I've read some of the lawsuits and the reports and all the specifics. And there were so many things that I heard growing up in the south suburbs of Chicago. Like I wrote in my piece before, R. Kelly literally lived maybe like 10 minutes away from us, like in the south suburbs in Olympia Fields. And I heard so many things about him being in the malls, being around Kenwood Academy in the South Side, and being by these young girls, being flirtatious, being whatever. And I still didn't want to believe none of it. But when I read the reports, and I even thought about the basic reality that you were 28 when you married a 15-year-old girl, I was like, something is really wrong with that. And if she was my child, even if you want to say that's not you in the sex tape, that was you in that marriage. That was you trying to hide it. That was you trying to act like she was just your friend. That was you saying, little cute Aaliyah's got that vibe.
Okay, girl,
you're kind of a creep. Even if you don't want to talk about that, talk about the basic obvious. And you don't have to tell us you have a problem. We can tell that you do. But when you don't apologize, when you don't care, and you're out here and you're still talking about sex, and we don't know who you're really singing for and about, I can't listen to your shit and feel comfortable. That's it. I'm not saying you can support R. Kelly if you want to support R. Kelly. I don't give a damn. But I'm not supporting R. Kelly anymore because I just can't do it.
As somebody who saw, the tape, honestly, just seeing that alone, the documents came very later for me. Right. It came way after the fact. Right. But even just seeing the tape, it was just a little, it was sick. You know what I'm saying? And it was just I couldn't look at him the same after that. So Victoria, the music was just the fact that he's always singing about sex, it's this is kind of conflicting.
With black people who still support him, it's just because you don't care about black girls. You know, that's really what it is. You know, because when Annie, okay, because y'all know I wasn't about that Cosby shit, but when we really think about how, myself included and everyone else who did tear down Bill Cosby, it's we've never talked about Robert, and that's the thing that I'm always who does Robert know? What's up? Nobody really wants to call him out on anything, while we kind of, not, I don't want to say kind of, but there was a huge rally against Bill Cosby and other black performers who do inappropriate things to white women, right? You know what I mean?
So the Soul Train Awards aired on BET and Centric. And Centric is marketing itself as the first network for black women. And it's but y'all haven't R. Kelly closed the show. And it's what, that doesn't make any sense. Y'all don't say it's for black women when you don't care about black women, black girls and black women. Because y'all don't care. It's too much. And I think R. Kelly's music is so infectious and so hypnotic that you're listening to it and you just kind of get into it. And I don't want to get into it. So don't force me to watch something from somebody who is a known predator.
Right.
A known predator. And I'm just my thing is, it hurts me because he's so talented and people care to claim so much about him. But I'm if y'all care about R. Kelly, get him some help. Get him some, somebody who really knows him for real. Let's go talk to somebody about your stuff. Because you have a lot of it. R. Kelly has, been open about how he was molested as a child or whatever. And so he's clearly just continuing that pattern with other people. And no one is getting him help. So in his mind, I'm sure he's feeling I'm not doing anything wrong. They still invited me. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I've never got caught. He said it recently in an interview. Someone asked him about that. He was there's no foundation for that. Dude, no, yes there is. Yes there is. You married a 15-year-old. You did. And when I saw that video of them sitting down in the interview talking about, Aaliyah was this is my friend. He was
dressed like twins.
Dressed like twins. So it was a brainwashing. It was a brainwashing.
Wouldn't even tell her age.
She wouldn't say her age, and she was this is my friend. This is my friend Robert. He was your best friend. I'm Jesus Christ, it's on video.
And the BET, the boldness though.
This is what I'm saying. He doesn't feel like he has a problem, and and since he hasn't been caught, since he hasn't had to pay for it, since he's still given these opportunities, he doesn't. Why would I ever stop? Why would I ever slow down? Why wouldn't I keep singing about sex? It's too much. Thank you for watching this episode of Did Y'all See? For more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire.